Hello and welcome back to Living Not Existing. As always, I'm Josh, and I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a grow update and update of things that have been going on really in the past week, because well, I haven't been about and I've been busy, but also haven't got a great deal done because of stuff going on basically. But just thought I'd start off here in the greenhouse with a little bit of a grow update of things to show you what's going on. So behind me here, in these two trays here, what I've done is I've got, in this one here, I've got some white mustard seeds planted, and then in the other one I've got some more lettuce seeds planted in each one of those little pot cubicle things. So nothing's come through yet, so I've not got anything to show of that, as they've only been in a couple of days, something like that I think. So nothing happening as of yet. And then on the other front of things growing, I'll just swap hands here, I've got a load of stuff down here. Now, basically what I've got is, well, those money trees that I planted, and unfortunately they're looking a bit sad. So I think I need to take them home and hope that they somehow come back to life. But they are a succulent plant, and they don't seem to die succulent plants in my experience so far. So fingers crossed they manage to pull back around. It might just be because it's a bit cold down here on a night maybe or something, I'm not quite sure. But because I've got plenty of water and everything, or it could just be a big stress of them, with them falling off that chest of drawers and all smashing and this, that and the other and everything, and then getting repotted and who knows. So fingers crossed they come back to life, but we'll see what happens because they're still alive, the leaves are just dying. Then other things I've got in here is, here I've got another blackcurrant plant, and that's basically when I was chopping down all the blackcurrant bushes over there, there was one of the branches that had like fallen down and it had rooted itself, and then that was, it'd grown out of it basically. So I planted that and hoping that that comes back to life. It seems to be freshly budding a little bit here, which is good, because some of the existing leaf things you can sort of see there, maybe that some of the existing leaves just died off straight away that were there. So hopefully that pulls back around as well. It seems to be. And then I've just got a little blackcurrant plant that I'm just going to grow in that pot for now and let it get where it's going basically. Just do its own thing there, and then eventually I'll plant it somewhere or something like that. Who knows? I'm yet to fully figure that out. But then over there, as you can see in that planter, I've got strawberries. A few different varieties of strawberries. Now if you remember last year, I got a load of strawberry plants and I had them in those little pots just over by the shed, and I never got around to planting them in this tube thing. I thought I'll quickly just show you the tube thing a bit closer up. So basically that's all it is, with loads of little holes in it. And it actually has got on the bottom of, this is the bottom compartment of it, that's the top part for extending it, has actually got a hose plug on the bottom of it, and that black pipe coming out of it going all the way through it, so you can plug it in and it just sort of waters it from inside out. But obviously I don't have a pressurised hose down here, so there's no good really, so I'm just watering it by hand. But I got all them planted in there, and as you can see, they're all doing absolutely great. So yeah, should be some good strawberries. And the plan is as they put a runner out each, I'm going to pin a runner up onto the next hole and eventually fill all these holes up with plants as well. And then yeah, that'll be all good basically. Then next, what else have I got down here? Oh yeah, next is this little thing here. Now what I was doing, which I shall show you in a second, I was strimming behind the greenhouse. Now I think I showed it last year, I can't remember, you might have seen it, but it became a monstrosity of nettles, and there's some raspberry canes back there which I couldn't get to because of all the nettles, so I never got anything off of them even when I came down here and they were ripe and stuff. So yeah, basically that happened. But I got a bit carried away with the strimmer and I went a little bit close to some of the raspberry canes, and luckily a lot of them were already dead. I know that sounds daft saying luckily, but I didn't mind because I was chopping them down a bit. But this one wasn't, and it fell down. So what I've tried doing, just as a bit of an experiment really, because as you know I like my experiments with different plant things, is I got some of this stuff. And I just thought I'd give this a go. This rooting powder stuff. And basically you just chop down your plant, take your clip in, dip it in some water, dip it in this root powder stuff, which, just for anyone who doesn't know, it just sort, I'm trying to get it so the light will focus, there you go. So you can sort of see it's just a powder. You just dip it in that and then bung it in the soil. So that's all I've done there, and as you can see those leaves are dying off on the actual stem of it. They are dying off, but I think that's probably similar to this basically. So I think that hopefully that should root and stuff like that and collect water. I'm giving it plenty of water and everything, and fingers crossed it'll live and come back. And then I've just got another raspberry cane just off of my other plants and just experiment. If it dies, no biggie. It was going to be getting chucked anyway because it was obviously falling off the plant, chopped off the plant. But I thought for the sake of trying to bring it back to life, might as well, no harm done. And then on that as well, I've got, can I move it safely? Yeah. I've got this little little plant. Now what that is, obviously yet again the leaves are dying, and that was the same thing. I had to go with the rooting powder. And basically what that was from my plum tree, which I might as well put my sunglasses on because it's sunny and have a wander over there with you. So that little plum tree, basically what it was is my plum tree over here that I've got and I've planted. I was looking at it, and I thought last year, I was thinking it didn't do all that much all up the top. Where are we? Here. Didn't do all that much, all those leaves up the top there. And I thought, why was that? And then the other day I was just having a bit of a dig around down the bottom of the roots and stuff like that. And then right down the bottom down here, there was you can't actually see the little stump of it, but there was that branch coming out of here. And I saw that and I thought, that explains it. Because I don't know if you know about the about plants, like with the way they grow with energy, but basically the thing that's closest to the bottom gets the most, and then gradually goes up from there. And so basically that was sucking all the energy out of anything going further up, and it's already budding up more and got loads of leaves starting to come through since chopping that off, because that was all, as you saw, the leaves on that was all leafed right up. So yeah, that was potentially that problem. So I just thought, I'm chopping it off, I might as well try rooting it. So that's what I've done there. As well as that tree obviously budding up quite nicely there and everything, with all the leaves and everything. Cherry tree has started to do the same now, and you can see up the top of it getting some lovely leaves and stuff coming through. And then now this one's lovely. I absolutely love this. I've been watching this over the past week, and it's come out in flower, I think it might have been a couple of days ago, 2 days ago or something. And the amount of flowers on it is incredible. There's just loads of them, and they've all come out all over it. And so fingers crossed, I might get some fruit off of that this year. It should be rather nice. That's the pear tree, that one. Yeah, so fingers crossed I might get fruit, because it did flower a little bit, like probably about this much or something last year. I think that was all I got. I can't fully remember, but I remember having about that much flowers anyway. So fingers crossed I get fruit off of that, because I wasn't expecting it to flower last year, and it did, because I'd only just got it. So yeah, fingers crossed. And just on the flower front, just because they're nice, I got these last year planted in, which is, as you can see back here, the two daffodils that have come through with the flowers. There is other ones planted, but no more flowers have come through. And then if I took down here, some little grape hyacinths, I believe they are, that I planted last year in there, and they've come through rather lovely now, which is nice. And then there's also, I can't even remember what I planted now, to be fair, but there is just over here with this plum tree, because I forgot to show it just then, there's these leaves here you can see coming through. Now they're in a big circle around the base of it, and that's some sort of flower, and I can't remember what it is. So that's all come through, and fingers crossed maybe next year now, or maybe even later this year. It might not even be time for it yet to flower, because I can't remember what I planted. And but basically they've all come through as the leaves, so it's taken, and whatever it is hopefully should be nice in the not too far distant future. But yeah, so that's that. And the sun's going all over the shop today. There's a couple of clouds, so it keeps going really bright to nothing, but it's really warm. I think it's about 18 degrees or something today. It's lovely. What else have I done? I'm trying to think now. Yes, I was on about the what is it? Lettuces. That's it. I was on about the lettuces. Now the thing with the lettuces is basically I'll show you first. There, those blue pots. Now those blue pots, basically the idea is to use them as planters, which is what I've done here, and fill them all full of compost. And it's actually compost that was already on the plot beforehand, so which was quite handy. And it turns out that each one of them is exactly one of my wheelbarrow, which is quite nice. And where I got that from, I'll show you in a second, but what I will quickly show you first, just as I'm getting to this point to turn around there, is my big bed's all rotavated now. She did that last night, thanks to my dad getting a new rotavator, which is brilliant, because basically last week I was trying to get rotavating and everything, and I managed to do, I think, try and section it off with my finger. From there, I can't really point properly. Basically, that sort of little corner is all I managed to do down there. And because I messed around, bodging a new fuel tank onto my little rotavator that I've got that all bodged on, got it running, did that little bit, and then I stopped it because I had some wooden boards and stuff on top of the rest of the bed just in the way. So I stopped the motor to move them, couldn't get it going again. I ended up stripping the carb down twice, all sorts of stuff, and I just couldn't get it running. It would run sloshing fuel down, so there was just a blockage in the carb somewhere. So yeah, I gave up on that, and then, well, my dad's got another rotavator as well anyway, that he just went and got. So, well, he got dropped off or something. I don't fully know what the score was with it or anything, but anyway, got this new rotavator anyway, well, an old rotavator that's new to us. And yeah, it works great, basically, which I think he took a little clip of me when I was doing it, so if I have, I will quickly slip that in at the end, because it was rather funny of what happened if it's on the clip it. Basically what happened is I got all of it done, all the way along there, back and forth, and I got to just down here on this corner, right near the end of doing it, and then all of a sudden it just balked out, and the exhaust that was on fell off, and then backfired out of there, and then there must have been a little bit of fuel on top of it or something, I don't even know. But basically it just burst into this flame ball, and I was like, ah, what on earth do I do? So it was just a total panic session, just because basically the top of the petrol fuel tank was on fire. So a slight little panic there. So I'll see if I can get a little clip of that, because I think he got a clip of that, and I'll slot that in at the end for you, because it was just comedic. I was going along, and then all of a sudden, pop, fire, and it was rather scary. But yeah, so that was that. Now, but what I've basically been busy with is sorting things out in regards to the big shed, because there's a change of plans, and more will be seen in probably the next episode, I would have thought, with the way I'm sorting things out. So I think probably the next episode. But yeah, so basically big shed sorting out wise, and I'll give you a little tip of a little hint thing of what's going on. It's not going there anymore. In fact, it's not going up, because it's that much of a monstrosity of collapseness, and trying to fix it all back up and putting all the wood timber in to try and make a new framework and putting all the boards down, this, that and the other. It's just going to be more hassle than it's kind of worth. So I've got a better idea, which is what you're going to be seeing next episode. So what I've been doing because of that is, if you remember, all of this area behind here, next to the greenhouse, was just sort of had all, well, they've moved it just over here a little bit. Obviously, my eventual pond, my table and stuff like that, and as well as there was all those seats and everything. So I've got rid of all of them, and then cleared it all, basically. Filled the hole in that was already there, and chopped all the weeds down, pulled it all out. In the corner over there, where am I about? Over there, in that corner, there was the compost pile that was already existent down here. So I'll just move a bit further down so you can see a bit better. But yeah, so cleared all of that down here, cleared that compost pile out, and I put that into my beds and into those little tubs that I was on about. So fingers crossed some nice stuff should grow, I don't know. And typically, I'm going to pull it out over time, out of the soil, but there was some little bits of plastic and stuff in there, because for some reason, I think there must have been a thing in the past, because I remember it when being with Matthew in the past and going through that compost pile, there was loads of plastic in it. So it must have been some old thing that someone said on, I don't know, Gardener's World or whatever, that plastic decomposes. But obviously plastic doesn't decompose, unless it's like hemp plastic, then it will. But other than that, as far to my knowledge anyway, it doesn't decompose, and from what I've seen, it doesn't decompose. So that was that. And then there was a load of bricks down here that I think someone was trying to build a house out of, because there was loads of them, of which you can see down behind the greenhouse now. Big massive pile of bricks. and then there's all the rest of the water tubs and stuff, which that was just a nettle monstrosity. So I pulled a load of nettle roots out of there, and I think I've got one handy here actually to show you. But some of the roots of the nettles, massive, and that's a small one. Like, they were like tree trunks, some of them. Like, it's never been cleared down there. I was talking to the big boss guy of the allotments, and he said, oh, never been cleared. So like down there, because he had greenhouses, the last tenant of this plot, like all the way down where the greenhouses, where those greenhouses are, it was further down there. So there was no reason to go down there basically. So it just became overrun with nettles, and yeah, so that's that. Now, next thing I'm going to update you on is the chicken situation. So I'm going to jump into the chicken pen and show you that. All right. Calm it down. Come on. She's playing up now, but she's so soft, and so is her sister as well. Well, I think they're sisters, but yeah, got these two little beauties. They're absolutely gorgeous. They just sort of saw then a bit, but they do come straight up to you and say hello, and they'll give you a cuddle and all sorts, and they'll just sit with you and have a fuss. They're so soft, and yeah, go on then. Oh well, there you go, see, you just sit on my knee. Yeah, so that's one of them. And then another thing that happened with the whole chicken front was, as well as getting those two, and kind of the reason, well, this little one's getting really friendly as well now. So I'm going to call this one Little Red because of the little bit of red. But yeah, now, I'm not sure if she's a she or a he. I'll say she's back now. But I'm not sure if she's a she or a he. But yet on that one, I think that he might be a he, or don't know, yet to fully know. But sort of reasoning behind these ones was, well, basically, she's not going to sit now. Basically, the friend who it was that got all the little pullets from is basically he put a thing on his Facebook with a friend of my dad's, saying that he had some silkies in his trailer at the end of his driveway, and it was during that Great British Camp Out. Me and my dad were sat out the back with a fire at the back of our house. He's having a few jars, as you do, you know, and well, basically he saw that post on Facebook, and I was like, oh, silkies, brilliant, I quite fancy a couple of silkies because they're good sitters. So once these pullets are all grown up, then obviously with one of them being a rooster, which, well, he's not near, I think it's that one. He's just coming up behind me now, if you can sort of see him there behind me. It seems to be quite rooster-like. But yeah, basically once they're older, obviously I want to try and get some chicks and do it like the natural way, more so with like having the chickens sit on them and then raise them up like that, because I don't have an incubator or setup for raising chicks in that fashion. But I'm yet to look into that more in the future, so if anyone knows more about that, please drop a comment about that. But so basically, so we were looking at these silkies, and I was like, oh, I'd love a silkie for that reason. And then so a bit half cut, my dad ended up agreeing to getting a couple of silkies. So we went to the trailer and got a couple of these silkies, and then brought them back here, and I was all chuffed about these silkies that I'd got. And one of my neighbours on the plots, Dave, he's the bird man down here. He knows his birds. He has God knows how many chickens and ducks and everything. And basically said, oh, have a look at these new chickens or whatever. Obviously distances, understand all of that. So I'm at one side of my plot. He goes and has a little look at these chickens, and he says, so they're just in the coop at the time, the pair of them. And he looked at one and went, that's a rooster, that one. What's the other one? I had a look at the other one. Oh, that's a rooster as well. And I was like, oh, damn it, I can't believe it. got 2 roosters, which is obviously no good. So, because obviously they'd fight or anything, and obviously they're just going to cause problems, which putting them in, so I had them separated off from the rest of the flock, obviously trying to introduce them. And because I basically put them in, and obviously I know about the whole introducing thing, but just thought I'd test to see how they were already, coming from like the same like little small holding that my dad's mate has. And so basically they ended up not getting on well straight off, so I separated them off, and that's when David said about them being both roosters. So got in contact with with my dad's friend and said about it. He said, all right, we'll sort that out, bring them back type thing, so no use like that. And so foot's killing me, something like that. But yeah, so basically these roosters were no good, so we went back, and all he had to swap at the time was, you might be able to see him over there, I think it might be that one, not sure, but if you see I've now got 3 of the little white pullets. So and basically he only had 1 of them, so got that, and he owed us a chicken basically, and he's hatching some more things out, which fingers crossed, you never know, might end up with some in months to come of different things. So basically, tell you what, I'm going to grab a better seat here. But yeah, so basically we did that, got that chicken. To which then he rang my dad on the night. He said, "Oh, I've just had someone come along and get those two silky cocks, and they've dropped off these 2 reds. Would you like them? You can just have the other one as well, because well, my dad said and everything as well to him, like it'd be best to keep them together, wouldn't it? You know." And and he was like, "Yeah, I agree with you on that. And they're brilliant chickens. So hence why got these 2, wherever they are, just there. These 2 big reds as well." So fully grown and laying, and believe it or not, I've not even got it sat here with me typically, but obviously it just doesn't happen when you move chickens. But one of them laid an egg within a few hours of being here basically, and I was absolutely gobsmacked by it. So yeah, already got an egg off of one of them, which is brilliant. So yeah, so basically that's the score with that, with the chicken story. So I had a bit of a all over thing over the weekend basically, but yeah, so that's the chicken situation, and as you can see, they're all doing great and they're all happy. You can sort of see them all behind me and that. But yeah, so all is going great on the chicken front. But yeah, so that's that for the chickens. And as far as oh wait, hang on, I didn't say as far as the allotment goes, but I just saw one thing I didn't say is I believe the lettuces have started coming through, the ones put in the ground, but barring that, that's about it of things coming through, I think. I've been keeping an eye on them obviously as I've been watering them, and I think there's some lettuces coming through now, so they're taking the time for some reason in the ground, but don't know why. We'll see what comes through within this next sort of week or so. And but as I say, I've got more things planted in the greenhouse anyway. Now hopefully you all heard me all right there when I was on about the chickens, because my neighbour Gary was just doing a bit of rotavating there, so I think you could all hear me, but let me know if you can't, and I'll show you the chickens again basically. I mean, you know, I'll probably show you the chickens more if you want. So if you want more chickens, show me down below, tell me down below in the comments. But yeah, so anyway, as I say, that's it for here on the plot. Now, what I'm going to do, well, now for you, but it'll be in a few hours time for me because I've got stuff to do down here, is I'll nip home and I'll show you the seedlings that have all come through and coming through and everything of the unusual seed challenge, as well as the other stuff that I planted before as well, because some things have come through there. So I'll nip home and show you that, and then I'll show you the Rotavator madness that happened. Right, so I'm back home now, and just going to show these seedlings. So as you can see here in front of me is the chili peppers. Now to the left here is the Scotch bonnets. Now you can see 3 of them there obviously are obviously plenty grown and stuff, and they came through a while back. And there's actually, as you can see now, we've now got these 3 here that have actually come through today, which is quite good. So it's obviously been a good day for seeds. And that one was yesterday, I think. So by the looks of it, it looks like it was yesterday as well. But yeah, so that's that. Then there's the middle ones, which is the jalapenos, which all of them have come through. So brilliant. They're obviously good seeds and stuff. And then last but not least is the bird's eye. Now there's actually a little one just coming through there, but that's another new one from today. But yeah, so then that's them. As you can see, there's a few of them come through already. And as you may have noticed with these ones, and you will see this throughout these seeds, they're a little bit leggy, a little bit leany over and stuff like that. And that's just because of where my window's situated, unfortunately. I can't really do anything about that. So fingers crossed they're going to be alright. And I'll be able to like pull them back to a better way once I get them down the greenhouse when it gets a little bit warmer. It's still not quite where I'd like it yet. But yeah, so that's them. Now, while I'm on this shelf, I'll quickly just show this, which is obviously just compost. But that's the cactus seeds in there from the Unusual Seed Challenge. And unfortunately, nothing's come through there as of yet. But as soon as there is and anything comes through, I'll let you know. It'll be on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Or you might even be on YouTube on here. But, you know, keep an eye. And as you know, links to all of that's below. But yeah, so while I'm just on the Unusual Seeds, I'll go down to the next shelf, which are down here. And as you can see, there's lots of action going on down here. Now, the actual, which ones are these? These are the sprouts first. The red ball Brussels sprouts. They've come through, and basically, nearly all the seeds have come through. I put 2 in each thing, so nearly all of them have come through, which is great. So I've got plenty of them. Then the next is those, the tomatoes, which have come rather nicely. There's only one there that hasn't come through. So far, no action on the bonsai seeds. Absolutely nothing as of yet. But the money tree has got 3 of them have come through, which is brilliant. And then, last but not least, is those random peach sort of thing seeds. Don't know what they are. And none of them come through, but they're a bit mouldy on the top. So, probably not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. But, I'll just leave them there and see what happens, basically. No harm in trying. If anything, it's just going to, I don't know, rot away into the compost. Who knows? But yeah, so that's that. And then, keeping with the tomatoes, back to the original seeds. As you can see, plenty of these are coming. They're actually getting their like second set of leaves coming through now, which is quite nice. But so all the different types of cherry, the red cherry and then the cerise cherry, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Well, they've all come through basically. And it's really funny because that one back there has only just come through recently, but it's already staying smaller. So it's rather interesting why that's stayed a lot smaller than the rest. Whether it's planted down further or what, I don't know. But yeah. So that's that. And then on the other side here is the Alicante. Now, they've all come through, apart from the middle ones, for some reason. So, just interesting the way they happen to have just, in a block of 4, have grown through. Just interesting germination. But, and then also the Moneymaker. Now, they're gradually coming through. As you can see, there's some bigger ones and some smaller ones. And they've just gradually been doing their thing. So, I've got a few Moneymakers, which is nice. And then, the last shelf, just down here, excuse me, Doc Martens there, but the last shelf here, as you can see, the cucumbers, and in the middle, and, well, all but, what is it, 2 plants there, yeah, all but 2, one at the back over there, and then one there, haven't come through. The rest of these have come through great, and as you can see, this next set of leaves is starting to come through lovely, and I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but you can sort of see, if I can try and get a bit of a focus on it, there's another set already coming through, so they're doing really well. And but the only thing is I haven't had any of the peppers come through as of yet. So they're the I can't remember the name of these ones now. Oh yeah, the Robertina. That's it, Robertina. So, however that's pronounced, I don't know. You tell me, I'm probably reading it wrong. But yeah, so that's them. None of them have come through as of yet. And unfortunately, oh, yes! So I haven't actually looked at these. I've just started to show you straight away. That's brilliant. One of them has come through today, the Cali Wonders, which gives me hope. I was actually starting to believe that I was going to have to replant. But finally one has come through, which is brilliant. So I'm going to have at least one Cali Wonder pepper plant this year, which is just awesome. Get in. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, so that's the seeds in here, basically. Yeah, so that was that with the seeds and everything growing. I suppose now it's the point that you may or may not have been waiting for, and the funny bit that happened with the Rotavator. So, yeah, I might as well just show you what happened. And it's only a very short clip because, well, I did the whole bed, basically, of what I was showing you, and then got to the last little bit of it, as you'll see in a second, and maybe my dad just thought, oh, I'll quickly just get a little bit of a video of this, and started videoing, and luckily he actually caught this on camera, and so anyway, here you go. Whoa! So as you can imagine, there was quite a panic on there with that, and but it was all right. I was just like, what do I do? Because I thought with it being like petrol, obviously an oily type thing, you don't want to throw water on it. So I didn't really know what to do. But luckily my dad was just there straight away. Just started basically putting mud on top of it, straight out of the bed, and managed to get it out like that, and all is all right. It has melted the choke linkage apparently, found out now, but it's alright because the thing needed a bit of work anyway. Where you saw my arm reaching down, it's where the throttle cable wasn't attached, and it was just like there was a bit of wire wrapped around the handlebar of it, and you just pulled that into position to adjust the actual throttle. So it was a bit bodgy anyway using it, but it was alright. So yeah, that's it basically. It was quite a bit of a scare when it happened. All of a sudden the whole thing burst into flames on top of the petrol tank, which obviously is not a good thing to happen. So yeah, but that's everything on the quickish update of things, of the grow update, chickens and everything going on. But yeah, so thank you all very much for watching. Hope you like seeing all of this and everything. Drop us a like, a comment, check out the Facebook and Instagram links down below. And yeah, until next time, I'm Josh, been Living Not Existing. Goodbye.